We all wanna change. We all wanna be somebody else. I wanna visit all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days TV, and I'm your host, Kathy Blaze. And I am here with the lovely Melissa Ann Farley. Welcome, girl.
Thank you so much for having me, Kathy.
It's a pleasure. It is such a pleasure. You know what? I wanted our audience to just feel you and get to know a little bit about you, because you are such a big influence here in Arizona in the entertainment industry. I mean, you're personable, you're so creative, and you don't mind giving so much of yourself to others. Mm-hmm. And that's rare.
Thank you.
That is really rare. How was it for you to put your life in film?
Yeah, I get that question a lot because I think so many people are really uncomfortable being vulnerable and kind of sharing maybe some of the not best sides of ourselves. But for me, it felt like most of my life, I was kind of told or asked not to talk about things. And then as I got older, I started to understand everybody has these feelings. Everybody has these struggles. And why don't we just talk about it, And so it really inspired me to, well, if nobody's going to talk about it, I'll be that one. I can do that, And I received so many positive messages and people that really relate and appreciate just having someone talking about what they need to talk about, that it keeps me going.
That's awesome, because you never know how your tragedies or things that you're going through is going to affect someone or help them in their lives.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's so many times too where I'll be talking about something that I don't even think is going to make an impact. And then I'll get, an email or a Facebook message from somebody that's like, hey, that really helped me deal with this thing that I'm going through in my life. Thank you. And it's like,
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. I enjoy seeing your live videos on social media.
Oh, good.
I mean, it really touches me, and to see how transparent you are out there.
Yeah.
Because we're dealing with a lot right now in our society.
Yes.
And that's why I love the film industry, the entertainment industry. Yes. Because, we could be going through something in music, film, all the creative stuff that we're involved in could just be lifting someone else's spirit at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's so needed right now in our culture, in our world. And, that was one of the whole reasons why I started Stronger Today. We do video content, we do blogs, I do have a podcast, and it's all about, it's really targeted for women, but it is open to everybody. And it's all about empowerment and being honest with yourself and really growing true love of self. And, one of my whole things has always been, I'm not an expert, right? Like, I don't have it all figured out. I'm going through this right along with you, and let's help each other along that journey.
We learn as we go.
Exactly.
We learn as we go. That moment when we start thinking we know it all, that's when we stop.
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely.
You know what? I ain't trying to call you out about your size or nothing like that, but we know you use that term yourself.
Yeah.
Your fun size.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You're an inspiration to many, but being fun size, being a female in the film industry as a filmmaker, have you experienced any incidents where you weren't treated the same as your male counterpart because you're such a fun size and you're female?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think what happens actually in a lot of situations, particularly at festivals or networking events, I'll meet somebody and they will just automatically assume I'm an actress, I'm a makeup artist, whatever. Nobody makes the assumption, oh, she's a filmmaker, she's a director, right? And so I think what happens pretty quickly, though, is I am not afraid to look them in the eye. I'm not afraid to claim my power and say what I am and what I do. And I'm not afraid to have a very smart and clean discussion about, my craft. And so usually that respect comes fairly quickly. And if it doesn't, I don't time for you.
There you go. That's what you have to do. You have to claim your power.
Right.
Okay, that's one of my sayings, that I think the strongest woman that to bring about change is for women to claim their power.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean that we're powering over men or anyone else. It's just that we're claiming our power.
Yes. Yes. And I think that's something that a lot of women are really uncomfortable doing. You know, there's a lot of societal practices that teach us to not do that. And so it's almost an unlearning. You know, you have to really put that into your intention and into your practice of being comfortable saying who you are and what you're capable of. And
that's true.
You know, it was hard and uncomfortable at first, but it really does get easier, and it changes how you feel about yourself and how other people feel about you too.
Oh. Can you tell us anything that you have new coming up at the moment?
Yeah, so I actually just announced a new project that we're going to be working on. It's going to be an anthology series on mental health. And basically, it's a series of 3 films about 3 different women. One is dealing with postpartum depression. One is clinical massive depression, and one is about grief. And it is called... Actually, I don't know what it's called yet. I put it out to the community to help me name it. I have a couple different ideas. And so if you have thoughts, you know, feel free to let me know. But we're starting production on that. We're going to be filming first weekend of August.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. And that goes back to what we were just speaking about, women not claiming their power. You know, society tells us if we're grieving or if we're having a stage of depression or something, we're not supposed to talk about it or keep it even in our families. A lot of our families, if there's a mental illness, we don't talk about it because it's an embarrassment to our family, which is crazy.
Yes.
But a lot of families, a lot of cultures are that way. You don't talk about those things to the outside world.
It's a weakness to a lot of people, or something that makes people uncomfortable, you know, but it started when, so Daphne Springs wrote the section about postpartum depression after she had her first baby, and she just had her second child and had kind of reached back out to me and was like, I think I'm ready to do this. And so that was the kind of impetus of why it got started. And then I have chronic depression, and there was a day that I was having a really bad day, and my husband watched me kind of go from my slump to putting on earrings and some lipstick, hopping on a Zoom meeting, and transform into this totally different person.
Right.
Click that leave meeting button and then right back into where I was.
Yeah.
And so all of these are based off of real experiences, real people that have these very real, conditions. And so the idea is, with everything else, to normalize it. We're going to stop making this a stigma, stop making it something that isn't okay, and start talking about how pretty much everybody you know probably has something like this that they're dealing with.
And a lot of times people have it but don't realize what it is. They don't know, they don't have a name for it.
Correct. Yeah, that's very true.
So we are talking about being a creative and being in filmmaking. Even though it's about depression, grieving, postpartum depression, is there any funniness in there? Is it entertaining also?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, everything I do always has a little bit of humor, because life is not just one, straight line, so there's definitely some humor there. And then I'm also going to be directing another script, which is a feature film that's really weird. Like if you like Dexter or anything like that, it's got some definite weird quirkiness and kind of dark comedy to it. So
okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
you know what I think, but I think that fits you because you're an all-around kind of girl. You do a lot of things.
Yeah. And then I wanted to talk about too. There's a documentary project that I'm working on, and it's about lesbian women that were fired for being lesbians in Boise. And it's a really incredible story. All of the women were so open and willing to share their story with us. And it's an advocacy piece. It's being directed by Ann Cabano, one of my dear friends and advocacy filmmakers here. And it's very close to all of our hearts. So that's going to be coming out, I think, early 2022.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2022 is going to be banging with a lot of stuff coming out.
Yes.
We done been on hold for too long with COVID, so now 2022 is going to be banging.
Oh yeah, we're all in like full gear now,
Yes,
cranking
yes.
away. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to just seeing everything that you have going forward.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think it's going to really benefit a lot of people, not just women, men also, because men are dealing with depression and all those other issues when their wives are going through postpartum depression. They're dealing with it as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's a family thing. So
And we talk about that in the film. In fact, that probably is one of the funny parts when, one of the husband's friends is trying to explain to him like what's going on with his wife, and it very much feels like a conversation two men would have,
Right.
about trying to navigate that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Melissa, where can our audience find you and your work?
That's a great question. So we have a production company that we work out of called Patty Melt Studios. So you can find us online, pattymeltstudios.com. And then I am all over social media. So Melissa Ann Marie Farley is my name on Facebook, the Melissa Farley on Instagram.
Okay.
And I'm very responsive. So please reach out, message me.
Wonderful.
Always happy to connect.
Wonderful. Yes, you are. And that's what I said earlier. You don't have a problem with helping others in the community, and that's what I love about you and your work.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, Melissa. It was such a pleasure to hear about all that you have going on.
Thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us at Desertwood Days TV. I'm your host, Kathy Blaze, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.